Welcome back, folks, to a World of Warships. I'm Soopa-Dave, and today we are going to be taking a look at the premium cruiser Iwaki. Now, for your commander, you can just use whatever you use for your normal Japanese cruisers. Uh, Pretty straightforward. If you have Yamato, uh, go that route. If you're using Karudo, whatever you normally use, there's nothing in particular that's going to make this so different from any other Japanese line. We're using Hagero with inspirations Kuzinov and Membeli, and the base trait is the deck is on fire, along with Beyond Range, Igniter, Hellfire, Fixated, and Refill Station. Now, if you are only going to build for this ship, you could do fully packed because it does have a smoke, but it's a tier 3 premium. You really don't want to be building a ship for this, especially on the Japanese line, which don't really have smoke on most things. That being said, you do have two smokes. They're decent for tier 3, and they are pretty handy. And with your sonar, it's helpful at the tier because there's a lot of torpedoes kind of flinging out everywhere at low tiers. And for your upgrades, you're going to do Aiming Systems Mod 0, which is a unique thing to this ship. Minus 40 main battery dispersion. I have not played it without this modification, but I imagine it would be atrocious. Then the second one is Aiming Systems Mod 1. So you have a 47% main battery dispersion on this ship, and Propulsion Mod 2. For the specs, 18,000 health, but again, it's a Japanese tier 3 ship. You're going to see the Citadel on this and realize very quickly you are not going to go toe to toe with any battleship in the game. That's shooting AP anyway. Now you have 140 guns. These are pretty tiny. And the HE damage is good, and the fire chance is good. The AP shell damage, not so amazing. But that being said, Japanese AP, even on cruisers, you should be using if you get a broadside. Alright? Every Japanese cruiser video you ever see pretty much has me using AP at some point. And you're gonna see it in this match, like the match that I have. We do some Citadel damage. Torpedoes actually has super strong torpedoes. To be honest, these are very helpful at tier 3, and you can catch people off guard with these things. So they do 16,000 damage. So if you hit a destroyer, the destroyer's dead. Okay, you hit the right cruiser, it's basically dead as well. But AA defense, you do not have much at all. Okay, the match you're gonna see, I'm gonna be shooting down planes the entire time almost, especially towards the end of the match. I think I take down 2 or 3 planes. Maneuverability, this thing is solid at it. Pretty good at dodging shells if you want it to, but you don't have the world's best range at 14.5, so dodging at 14 kilometers can be tricky if you're not careful. And detectability by sea is 9.4. It is very good. And also because you do have smoke, you have a 4.1 detectability while firing in smoke, which in my opinion is pretty high for 140 caliber guns. I might be crazy on that, but again, you're going to be okay in smoke. Make sure you use your sonar in smoke too. Statistics, you can see I don't really play it much. Once in a while, when I first got it, I would get it and play it for my tier 3 premium. It's not a bad ship. But 42,000 damage average at tier 3, that's actually not too bad. And the main gun accuracy is 56, but I play relatively aggressive getting rid of destroyers. This thing's pretty okay at getting rid of destroyers. Armor. It doesn't have any. This is a cruiser with this is a destroyer with a citadel. What do I mean? Your bow and stern on this ship are 10 millimeters, meaning even big destroyer guns will overmatch you. I don't know that you'll really run into them at tier 3, but almost everything overmatches you. But oddly enough, because Iwaki's guns are so small, another Iwaki does not overmatch you. But basically, all cruisers, all battleships for sure will overmatch you. Why is that a problem? This is your Citadel. All right, it is short. I'll give it that. But man, is it big. And it is easy to hit if you know what you're doing at the tier. And it's not like this thing is the most armored thing in the world. You can take Citadels from the front. You can take them from the rear. I'm sure you could even take them from space if it was a possibility. As we start the match, it's disclaimer time. This is a beginner's video meant to help people new to the ship or new to the game. This is not meant for professional gamers that know everything there is to know about everything in the universe. There are multiple ways to play and build this ship, and I am an above average player, not the world's best. I make mistakes. You may see one in this match. You didn't come here for pronunciations. I'm as good as anybody at slaughtering beautiful languages all the time. With that out of the way, we are bottom tier, and we are on the Solomon Islands, which plays a lot like Two Brothers. It kind of just divides the map up into two, like Two Brothers, and occasionally you get crazy people in the middle. That's really what happens. Now, you do have a couple smokes and a couple sonars. And you see me be aggressive. At lower tiers, you can be aggressive. If I was at a higher tier playing this thing, I would not like that. So, as soon as you see battleship shooting AP, you want to dodge it or get out. And the problem with dodging it is because this Citadel is so big and square on this thing, and there's no protection anywhere on the ship for your for your bow and stern, that this is just a square for everybody hit. So it's really hard to angle, because if you're angled on the side, that means your front isn't angled, the front of your Citadel. So Kumo pops up, and like Iwaki, Kumo's got a huge Citadel. So we're going to drop our smoke, and we're going to go ahead and switch over to AP and try to light this guy up, because he is in fact broadside. And we're going to take some shells at him, and we're going to pop our sonar, which I recommend anytime you're in a battleship or in a cloud, smoke cloud. But we're going to get a couple Citadels there. You can see we're getting good hits. We're getting in the middle of the ship, but he's turned away. We're going to go ahead and focus on Wyoming. Right now, Wyoming is the biggest threat to us, because he could clearly get rid of us in one salvo if he shoots AP. And we're just going to let him charge us. We're going to throw out some torpedoes. If he gets hit by these torpedoes, they are going to hurt a lot. Okay, so we're just going to go ahead and just focus on lighting this guy up. I honestly didn't expect this. I don't play tier 3 much. I did not expect this Wyoming just to drive straight forward, to be honest with you. And that's what you got to kind of expect at low tiers. You're going to get destroyers that allow them to get themselves spotted, which you want this thing in a good position, because if you can absolutely wreck destroyers if you have any accuracy with it. But you can see we got Wyoming on 2 fires right now. And being that he might not have the regular, fight fire with fire trait, we're just going to keep... We're going to keep burning them down, right? We got 2 fires on him, and we're going to run out of smoke, so we're going to be a little bit careful here. But he's shooting HE, so I'm not overly worried about him. And we're going to go ahead and just keep ourselves angled. We got another fire on him. He's got 4 fires, and he is cooking. A lot of times, if you get a couple fires on a battleship, you actually want to switch to AP. But this guy driving in a straight line kind of gave away that he might not have fight fire with fire, and may have like will to rebuild or something crazy like that, which at this current time, fight fire with fire is, I would say, what 90% of good players will use that aren't in divisions, that don't play in divisions. And we're going to go ahead, and we're not spotted right now, so we're going to go ahead and get rid of some more torps. They do come back relatively quickly, and you can do a lot. We're just going to throw some out. If they get hits, they get hits. Now, we're going to switch back over to AP. Kumo is spotted. And it is broadside. We've already got a couple citadels on him. Now, I would take shots at the destroyer, but he's driving away and really kind of annoying to hit. And we have a good opportunity to actually get rid of Kumo here. And that's what we're going to try to do. And like I said, AP on this thing isn't amazing, but you're going to see we still do some damage with it. Not necessarily there, but I want to get worried about the destroyer, so we're going to want 100% worry about the destroyer here. And you can see not terrible accuracy, but at tier 3, you got to remember it's going to be hard to hit some stuff. And, you know, our torpedoes weren't bad placement, to be honest. We almost caught him off guard. We're just watching to make sure we don't hit the island. And we are going to keep turning here. The destroyer is definitely the main focus. We're going to turn in because we probably assume torpedoes are coming. When a destroyer gets within like 5 or 6 kilometers, there's torpedoes coming. So you need to move out of the way. And that's what we're going to do. And look at that. There was torpedoes coming. And we're going to work on getting rid of him. Now, we're being careful because there is a battleship on the other side of the island from us. But we're going to get rid of him. And now we're going to focus back on Kumo. Right? Get rid of Kumo. He's been sailing broadside. This is not the... probably, as we get the Citadel, is probably not the best player in the world. You do not want to sail broadside, and that happens at low tiers, so just expect crazy things like that. Now, we do have a smoke available if that battleship comes around this corner. Now, you're going to see here, I detect something, and that catches my eye right away, and it's a aircraft carrier. And we're just going to unload into them, okay, with 3 citadels there. Even though our citadels don't hurt much, you can see we're getting them, right? We're getting another one. We only had 2 shells hit on that salvo, and we're going to continue. We got 3 full pens, and we're just going to absolutely wreck this Rhine. Now, of course, someone comes in and takes the end of the kill, but we have a high caliber, meaning we've done over 30% of the damage, and we're going to pop a smoke, and just to be safe here, because he's going to be the last one that spots. And thank gosh he's shooting HE, because that could have probably hurt, I guess. You do want to be careful with battleships in this thing. If you aren't, you can and will be absolutely wrecked. Now, you can see our guns were going off to try to get rid of the aircraft. And here to the end of the match, basically, I'm going to be trying to shoot aircraft. And you're going to see the AA is not good on this thing, because it just takes forever. It's like a guy with a pistol on the back of the ship. And he's like just taking shots at aircraft as they go whizzing by. And also, this kamikaze's in a bad spot. He's either got to run towards me or our destroyer buddy and a battleship. So I'm just going to do my best to do that and do that. If you're in this ship and you're not an experienced player, you got to get rid of crew destroyers when you see them. Just like when you saw me see that destroyer, and when I got a good opportunity to shoot at them, I completely switch on destroyers. You low tiers, well, every tier, but low tiers particularly, you can change an entire match by getting rid of destroyers. And you can see I popped my sonar just in case he was going to leave torpedoes out for us. We get a couple shells into him, and then he dies. But 77,000 damage, and we didn't really do a whole lot to battleships. We only hit 1 battleship. 12 citadels. We really helped our team win. 77,000 damage is respectable at tier 3, that's for sure. Anyway, you guys have a wonderful day, and I will see you next time, folks. Have a good one.